Godzilla 1971 Uncut footage. Previously read by Sog, a creepypasta. Disclaimer. Detailed below are alleged events that occurred during filming and production of the 1971 film Godzilla vs. Hedorah. As such, all are but rumors, yet some proves that they are true. From 1954 onward, the Godzilla series had become popular enough to be a staple of pop culture in an everyday comedy in Japan, with new movies being produced yearly on decent budgets, half of which went towards costume design. It became a regularity in what was known in the Showa era with kaiju films. It turned out just as well into the 70s, with much like everything else, the Godzilla series of films began to experience franchise fatigue, with production values becoming cheaper and cheaper, new costumes looking shoddy, and a recycling of stock footage. This particular phase of fatigue was never more evident than in 1969's All Monsters Attack. The abysmal final product put the entirety of the Godzilla franchise on hold for a whole 2 years, allowing for the general public to forget about the disastrous film enough time for the minds at Toho to regroup and eventually start working on another film. It was originally intended for the franchise to end after the release of Destroy All Monsters. It's actually more the typo on the first line, on the previous line. Several years prior, but the release of yet another film made it impossible to end a franchise that had made him famous, so it was quickly decided that work on another entry into the franchise was to start immediately. It was decided early on the next installment would carry a message much like the original Godzilla film close to 20 years prior, but rather than focus on the dangers of nuclear radiation, the message would instead focus on pollution and its effect on the environment. From this idea, Godzilla's opponent, Hedorah's form, designed to be a smog monster. Hedorah's appearance was originally much different. Initial drafts were similar to that of Godzilla, but with a stockier build, elongated face, more rounded teeth, and a ashy gray color. More or less a non-threatening design. This appearance would be the groundwork for the new film, and such. A new young director was chosen to lead. Quiet, introverted, and oftentimes described as imposing, Yoshimitsu Banno was chosen as the director for Godzilla vs. Hedorah, an undertaking that made the company uneasy to say at the least, as Banno had yet to ever direct any kaiju film, much less a Godzilla one. Toho hastily allowed Banno to take the regions and project continue as expected. Unfortunately for the team, as well as Toho, things would not go as planned. Banno started confident in his ideas that he could play regularly, and his co-workers often described his visions for the film as off the wall and strange. Given only 35 days to shoot the film, Banno and co-writer Teishi Kimura often locked themselves away on weekends and bantered back and forth over potential film ideas. One report claimed Banno and Kimura yelled feverishly until the early morning, near leaving the room until an agreement was made. Banno was also known for changing ideas last minute, turning Hedorah's design from a Godzilla-esque monster to a large, towering blob, a tentacle-like creature with large red eyes mere days before the costume building process was to begin. As time went on and filming progress, tensions ran high between production and the actors themselves, as many shoots ended with several arguing that scenes weren't just right after the actor had repeated them any number of times, leading to them storming off from each other. Actors decrying the capabilities of the production team and not speaking to them until the next shoot. As these spats between them escalated higher and higher, Banno himself often remaining disconnected from these events, as every time they would occur, he would simply leave, but not before quietly speaking his mind on how he thought none of them perform up to par. This irritating and disconnected behavior persisted to the point of extremity in some cases, as actor Kenpachiro Satsumo, who portrayed Hedorah, was struck during filming with appetite appendicitis. Doctors were forced to perform the appendectomy while still wearing the hetero suit, not because it was too elaborate to remove, but because Banno ignored Satsumo's serious complaint until other members of production step in and help. When questioned later, Banno simply stated he was ignorant to the cries, "I had too much to fill, and too little time." Some say Banno would lock himself in his office with small supplies of food for days and on end after these heated arguments, speaking, but to no one in particular, occasionally cursing loudly, flashing, setting objects flying about the room. These occurrences would then be followed by long periods of silence, the only audible sound being Banno scribbling furiously on his notebook. On top of these was a particular nasty rumor about the supposed 20 whole minutes cut from the final film. Around halfway through the film, Banno allegedly had several more scenes planned, which was described by others as disturbing and surreal imagery. More so than in the final cut, that would have pad out the story and further finalize Banno's version for the film. Several examples of these alleged scenes were one in which Hedera crushes a family's home, the mother and son outside screaming as the father is trapped, crushed by the collapsing house in front of them. One in which portions are seen in the film, including a surreal dance party where the participants wear bunny masks smeared under some unknown substances on the walls, injected heroin, even wrote nonsensical scrawling on any and all flat surfaces. Another would involve a young psychic child, upon sensing Hedera's arrival, be plagued by horrific night terrors, featuring bizarre, macabre illustration of previous kaiju that Godzilla had fought before. The last example was one that Banno himself described in detail to Tekshi Kimuru during a late-night session, and had Godzilla fighting Hedera into a grassy countryside. They would continue to flash about the sky growing dark, when Hedera would gain the upper hand, wrapping its tendrils around Godzilla's arms and neck, allowing for traces of blood to ooze from Godzilla's mouth. Banno excitedly explained that the way Godzilla would win would be to show a shot from behind Hedera and to watch as Godzilla's hands torn through to the back and then thrust outward, effectively tearing Hedera in two. While later Godzilla films would take a more violent approach, the other was still struck down almost immediately for being too over the top, considering the vast majority of the audience for these films were children. These changes, which not pleased Toho, were cut from the film prior to release, much to Banno's dismay, as there was no time to re-film certain scenes. The final cut of Godzilla vs. Hedera was even more bizarre than intended. It was described as eerie, bizarre, in the most extreme case, utterly nonsensical and insane. Banno himself, however, was extremely pleased with the results of his film, so much so that began writing a sequel almost immediately. Tomoyuki Tanaka, who was a seasoned Godzilla director and also housewife during filming, went so far to tell Banno that he had ruined Godzilla. Banno was not so scared, as he was even more determined to have his sequel made. Despite his intentions, Banno was banned from directing another Godzilla film, as his extreme approach to filming that left several members hospitalized, as well as his dark ideas, were deemed unfit for the series. Banno, obviously unpleased with this turn of events, cutting communication with many of his superiors as well as those around him. Many other projects were considered afterward, but I was scarcely heard of and never seen. The last accounts anyone had of Yoshimitsu Banno after his directorial debut are vague at best, but the only foreseeable conclusion is as follows. Mere months after his ban, he quit his job as assisting director to several cartoons and cut cartoons with those around him. Back in his documents, along with the remaining 20 minutes of footage not seen in the final film, he disappeared. It's unknown what happened to Banno or what became of the 20 minutes of footage, but for better or worse, neither were never seen again. So that was Godzilla 1971 Uncut Footage Creepypasta. My final thoughts are, this is actually a pretty good creepypasta. Besides, it wasn't like all that the person find the copy of the movie, game or whatever, then like just plain and think looks normal, but it wasn't. But it's more just like a dark approach of what did happen during the 1971 Godzilla film, which is called Godzilla vs. Hedorah, which I think the final title is called Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, which Godzilla vs. Hedorah sounds like a better title than just Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, because the Smog Monster actually given a name, Hedorah, but until they just dropped that name. In the whole, those missing 20 minutes type of stuff, yeah, I just wanted to see, like, someone actually make, pictures, or, like, art pictures of it, of what it looked like, and the whole people just wearing bunny masks during that one scene. I think that's gonna be something out of The Purge, even before The Purge is a thing. And I'm just pretty felt this creepypasta is actually good on its own about the whole haunting stuff. Lots of typical cliche stuff, But I just kind of surprised I just made this creepypasta because Godzilla 2 King of Monsters is close to come out tomorrow, and today is actually one of my subscribers' birthday. So happy birthday, Christopher Albister, which is actually his channel. So yeah, happy birthday, man. And I just hope you have a pretty good day, since on June there's gonna be it's gonna be a month of Chucky, which there's going to be a new video on Friday for the first channel, but surprise news, the return of the YouTube poops, and the SMG4, and including the new member of the new thing that's gonna react to the SML videos will be up on Friday, May 31st, surprisingly early, which may or may not gonna I don't know what it is, which may gonna be up around the Friday before then the Saturday, because I'm just gonna we'll be out of town. We're going to my pop's place, staying there. Well, either between the Friday or Saturday. Depends if I gotta have my time after I just finished watching Godzilla 2 with my friends during one of my friend's birthday. So yeah, hope you have a pretty good day, and subscribe for more videos that comes out on June. And on June, it's gonna be a month of Chucky. So, bye bye.